clever South Park has taken aim at Meghan and Harry.
Your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it. Supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big belly.
Prince Harry is losing it as South Park brutally roasts Meghan Markle once again, this time for her absurd twerking stunt with a fake baby bump. The internet's in meltdown, sponsors are fleeing, and public sympathy has vanished.
See, I didn't know who H was. At the time, I just loved his Insta feed.
Even Harry's $50 therapy livestream couldn't save their brand from becoming a global joke.
Harry charges $50 for people to watch him have a live therapy session. If this is what happiness looks like, can I be depressed, please?
Meghan Markle woke up one day in June 2025 and decided the world hadn't suffered enough. Because what else explains that absolutely ridiculous twerking video she dropped with a prosthetic baby bump? She wasn't hacked, she wasn't spoofed, this was on her verified account. And no, it wasn't a parody either, although at first everyone thought it had to be. I mean, who would do this on purpose? Meghan would. That's who.
I honestly, genuinely had to go to her page to make sure it had originated there because I thought it was a parody.
The video didn't just go viral, it exploded. Over 42 million views and counting. But not in the "you go girl" way. This wasn't empowerment. This was full-blown second-hand embarrassment on a global scale. People didn't know whether to laugh, cringe, or call a therapist.
I feel like the focus is starting to shift off of me. Maybe in editing you'll fix it.
Some critics even called it performance art meets delusion. Honestly, that's being kind. It looked more like the lost footage of a desperate influencer who confused a maternity shoot with a TikTok dance challenge.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, she circles her genitals around and around. Okay, this is deeply problematic on a number of levels.
What made it worse, yes, it gets worse, is that this was all tied to her as-ever lifestyle brand. Because of course it was. This wasn't just some wild hormonal moment. This was strategic branding. Meghan turned motherhood into marketing. That bump wasn't symbolic, it was basically a coupon code. And guess who's reportedly salivating over this whole fiasco? South Park. Sources say that video is going to be the centerpiece of their upcoming episode called Respect Our Pregnancy. I mean, even the title alone is screaming sarcasm.
Moving around like Cartman himself taught him how to dance.
And let's not pretend this is some one-off Meghan moment. Nope, she's in full-on influencer mode now. She's not a duchess anymore, she's the queen of cringe content. Meghan apparently wants to be America's new Gwyneth Paltrow. But instead of jade eggs and organic eye cream, she's giving us twerking, filtered baby emojis, and brand trademarks that make zero sense. Like trademarking hospitality services under her As Ever brand. Is she opening a hotel now? A cafe? A Meghan-themed escape room where you pay to relive your most embarrassing Instagram moment?
See, I didn't know who H was. At the time, I just loved his Insta feed. And, you know, I was living in the middle of nowhere in Toronto, Canada, and I didn't even really know the word royal.
But wait, let's talk about that Disneyland photo op too. Meghan proudly shared pics of her kids at Disneyland, but slapped emojis over their faces. Because nothing says privacy advocate like blasting your children across the internet while hiding them behind cartoon fruit. You either protect their privacy or you don't.
About constantly complaining about your privacy being invaded whilst invading your privacy more than anyone else. But yeah, I'm thrilled.
But this halfway nonsense, it's just obnoxious. Like, we didn't ask for a blurry ear or a hidden elbow. Just leave them off your feed altogether if you're so concerned. And the worst part is, it's all clearly for attention. Royal watchers are saying it out loud now. Meghan isn't just sharing for fun, she's teasing visibility while selling exclusivity, basically dangling her kids in front of the public like a limited edition product drop. Meanwhile, back in the UK, William and Kate actually handle this with some sense. They show their kids for major milestones, not viral marketing. But Meghan, it's like every family moment is just a sales pitch in disguise.
Working royals putting out that kind of content, I think it's apples and oranges because, of course, looking at it through that filter.
Even influencer mums are backing away. One reportedly said, "I love Meg, but I'm not stepping into that crossfire." The internet's in roast mode, which means you made yourself the punchline, and no one wants to be caught standing next to you when the memes start dropping.
That filter of the royal family, because of course they still have their royal titles. This is the whole mess of it. Yeah. But I'm also saying she's an influencer and she's trying to get eyes on a page, and it's working.
But while Meghan's busy chasing likes and spin-off product lines, let's check in on Prince Harry. It's not going well. Word on the street is Harry's been re-watching the original South Park episode, the worldwide privacy tour, to prep himself for the new one. You know it's bad when you're trying to analyze a cartoon like it's a CIA briefing.
Specifically call them Harry and Meghan, but it's unmistakable, and the worldwide privacy tour even comes to Australia.
Insiders say he's visibly shaken, losing sleep, and even waking up at 3 a.m. to check encrypted chats for leaks. What's he finding? Cartoon panels of himself adjusting a ring light while Meghan shakes a fake baby bump. Not even AI could dream up a more humiliating arc. And yet here we are.
A couple of wags in the crowd will get sort of life-size versions of the South Park images of Harry and Meghan and just hold them up so that they are because you know there's one thing that keeps them up at night, and it was the skewering they got from those two.
The panic at Montecito has reportedly turned their mansion into what's being described as a daytime war bunker. Drafting response after response, 17 versions and counting, because apparently they can't figure out how to not look like clowns while reacting to a cartoon. That's where we're at. Meghan and Harry trying to combat animation with Word docs and legal memos. And let me just say, it's not working.
That what it's like to come from a truly broken home. For people who don't have the same wealth and privilege, that when you are being bounced between parents, sometimes parents who might be particularly acrimonious, wasn't the case in...
Their legal team has already told them flat out, there's nothing you can do. South Park's protected by parody laws under US law and First Amendment rights. And if they try to sue, Trey Parker and Matt Stone will probably just read the lawsuit on air, while Cartman plays a ukulele and sings, "We're getting sued by Sussexes."
There's talk that the Royals are going to sue over this episode now. Would you recommend they do that, Kosha?
But looking at their pattern so far, they do seem to be rather litigious. It'll never work. The U.S. has a First Amendment, and especially the category of satire protects them, and they're public figures, so the threshold is very, very high to have any sort of libel.
Of course, Harry still thinks he can charm his way out of this. The PR team tried pitching everything. Get this, a morning show cameo, maybe even tie it to a mental health campaign. Like, hey, I know you're all laughing at us, but have you considered therapy? Hollywood executives didn't even pretend to be interested. Some reportedly just smiled politely and moved on like someone had farted in a boardroom, and everyone agreed to just not address it. Because here's the truth. The desperation is too obvious now. Harry and Meghan have turned their public image into a circus, and the ringmasters at South Park are just doing what they do best, pointing and laughing. And honestly, the rest of us are too.
Wonderful. South Park has shown it still hasn't lost its touch even after all of these decades.
At this point, South Park isn't even trying to be subtle. They've officially turned Meghan Markle's entire personality into a sitcom plot. In their upcoming episode, Cartman literally shouts, "Cue the tears, we need vulnerable sparkle." While Meghan's cartoon version jiggles around with a bump so fake even Barbie would roll her eyes. This isn't satire anymore. It's a full-blown public service announcement about what happens when someone chases empowerment hashtags like their Pokemon.
This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment. I thought we were moving forward, Meghan. Well, we're not.
Dad, do you have any cash for a cab? Oh, look. Grandma's on the money. I never noticed that before.
And the internet is eating it alive. Before Paramount even dropped a single trailer, social analysts clocked over 100 million impressions tied to the episode. That's more buzz than half the actual content on Netflix right now, and Meghan's not even trying to go viral. Or maybe she is. Who even knows anymore?
We have to get jobs. I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
Yeah.
And while Meghan's busy managing her lighting angles and pretending to be relatable, let's not forget what her husband is up to. Prince Harry recently charged people $50 to watch him do a live therapy session with Dr. Gabor Mate. Because nothing screams authentic healing like monetizing your trauma on live stream.
Over a live stream which happened during the week with a doctor called Gabor Mate, and it's got people ruffled because he's speaking about his family once again, talking about coming from a broken home.
During that session, Harry casually diagnosed himself with ADHD and explained how coming from a broken home made him a perfect fit for the army. The internet's reaction? Let's just say people were less than impressed. Here's the problem. Harry acts like his childhood was an episode of Shameless, except it was set in a castle and came with taxpayer-funded security. Meanwhile, he's talking about broken homes while sipping organic smoothies in a $20 million mansion in Montecito. Sympathy has officially left the building.
British taxpayer in excess of $500,000. Now, the issue with Harry is that he should be paying for his own security. He wanted out of the royal family. He's got what he wanted, but his issues is...
And let's not forget the £500,000 price tag that British taxpayers have had to eat thanks to Harry's ongoing legal fight over royal security. The same guy who's made $40 million from a Netflix documentary is whining about not having government-paid bodyguards. Oh, and don't forget, he lost Frogmore Cottage. You know, the royal home he barely used, and now apparently can't find a place to stay in London. Because clearly, a guy worth tens of millions can't swing a hotel room. If you loved this takedown, hit that subscribe button because the next chapter in this royal circus is even wilder.